Elvis Presley was performing at the pinnacle of his career, delivering a show filled with energy, charisma, and the magic that had made him a legend. The arena was packed, the lights blinding yet exhilarating, and the roar of thousands of fans created a tidal wave of sound. Cameras flashed incessantly, capturing every move, every smile, every note of the king's unmistakable voice. The energy in the air was tangible, as if electricity itself flowed through the crowd. Then, without warning, a figure appeared at the edge of the stage. At first, no one paid much attention. Concerts were chaotic, fans often tried to get closer, and sometimes staff moved unexpectedly in the lights. But this woman was different. She walked confidently, calmly, almost as if the spotlight was her own. Dressed in a simple white dress that shimmered under the stage lights, she moved with a grace that contrasted sharply with the chaos of the arena. Security hesitated. The audience murmured. Yet, Elvis, ever the master of his stage, did not stop. He saw her, smiled, and reached out, inviting her onto the stage. The crowd fell into stunned silence, hearts paused in collective anticipation. As she stepped beside him, the band continued, yet the room felt altered. The energy shifted from chaotic excitement to reverent awe. The woman did not speak, did not act nervously. She simply stood by him, moving in rhythm with the music as if she had known every note, every lyric. Something unspoken passed between them, an understanding, a memory, a connection that no one else could perceive. Cameras captured the moment, but no lens could fully convey the intensity of the exchange. Fans debated feverishly, was she a fan, a performer, a member of the crew? None of their guesses felt sufficient. As the song drew to a close, the silence lingered. Elvis's eyes remained on her, his smile soft, intimate, carrying a weight that no one could decipher. He whispered something inaudible. A small nod exchanged between them, and she turned, waved quietly, and walked off as effortlessly as she had arrived. The crowd erupted into applause, yet the awe remained. It was as if the entire performance had been reframed by this single, inexplicable moment. News of the woman spread immediately. Reports called her the angel in white, the mysterious muse, the woman who stole the spotlight. Rumors proliferated. Was she someone from Elvis's past? A forgotten lover? A relative? Or something even stranger, an almost ethereal presence, too perfect to be real? Photographs circulated, each frame scrutinized for clues. In one iconic shot, Elvis's expression was soft, almost pained, his eyes holding recognition and memory. Something about her was undeniably familiar. Journalists and fans alike attempted to uncover her identity. Letters were sent, interviews were requested, and inquiries into past concerts and fan registries were made. No one could find her. The woman seemed to exist solely for that night, appearing as if conjured by the stage itself. Crew members whispered that Elvis had already known she would come, that the moment had been anticipated in some personal, private way. Months passed, yet the mystery deepened. Observers claimed she might have been a childhood friend, someone from Elvis's early days in church choirs, a person with whom he had shared his first dreams of singing and performing. Others speculated that she was a symbolic figure, a living representation of nostalgia, longing, or even a spiritual guide, sent to remind the king of his roots. The legend grew, fueled by each retelling, each new witness, and every faded photograph. The narrative gained further depth when a private collector uncovered backstage footage showing her waiting just behind the curtains before stepping onto the stage. Her hands trembled ever so slightly, yet her composure never faltered. A stagehand was seen whispering to her, "He's ready for you now." That tiny detail suggested coordination, intention, and perhaps a pre-existing bond with Elvis. It was no longer a random interruption, it had become a carefully orchestrated encounter known only to a select few. Investigations into staff records identified a man, Thomas Ray, who had been present that night and may have facilitated her entrance. Diaries and notes left behind hinted that the woman was significant, someone from the king's past who had returned briefly to reconnect with him. Some suggested she was an old love from his church choir days, a friendship or affection interrupted by the sudden rise to fame that changed both their lives. The aftermath of the encounter subtly altered Elvis. Close friends reported that he became more reflective, often pausing mid-rehearsal, staring off as if recalling the fleeting moment when the woman stepped into his life. Interviews decades later confirmed the effect. Although he never publicly discussed her identity, those close to him noted a newfound depth in his gaze, a softer tone in his music, and a rare vulnerability in his demeanor. Over the years, the story became legend. Fans dissected old footage, artists recreated the moment in paintings and photography, and filmmakers incorporated the mystery into documentaries. Speculation ranged from the mundane to the supernatural. Some argued she was merely a devoted friend. Others insisted she was a guardian angel or a symbol, sent to remind Elvis of his humanity beneath the crown of fame. Despite decades of research, interviews, and eyewitness accounts, no one ever confirmed her identity. Yet, the story endured, not because of proof or factual clarity, but because of its emotional resonance. It represented the rare, human moment that punctuated a life of spectacle, recognition, connection, and the quiet power of memory. Footage recently restored revealed subtle details that had been previously overlooked. The calm determination in her step, the gentle nod exchanged, the brief whisper she may have shared with a backstage assistant. These fragments only deepened the enigma, suggesting an intricate bond with Elvis, one built long before the bright lights of superstardom ever shone upon him. Fans visiting Graceland decades later often spoke of the woman as a living symbol, a ghostly figure who had brought out the real Elvis for a few timeless minutes. Stories circulated of her leaving flowers, wearing a familiar white dress, as if maintaining a silent vigil over the king's legacy. Each tale, whether factual or imagined, reinforced the mythos of the moment, immortalizing her presence in public memory. The encounter became more than a footnote, it was a defining moment of Elvis Presley's life and legend. The mysterious woman on stage served as a mirror, reflecting the king's past, his humanity, and the core of the person beneath the fame. She reminded him, and the world, of the boy who had once dreamed of music, who had once sought connection, who had once been loved for himself rather than his stardom. Historians, biographers, and fans alike concluded that her identity might never matter. What mattered was the fleeting yet profound interaction that shaped Elvis in ways subtle yet permanent. The silence surrounding her only amplified the moment's significance, transforming it from a mere anomaly into an eternal testament to human memory, connection, and the unquantifiable magic of an extraordinary life. Even decades after that unforgettable night, the story of the woman in white endures. It is not a story of fame, nor a tale of scandal or intrigue. It is a story of recognition, of remembrance, and of the quiet, enduring humanity of a man who, despite being the king, needed only a single encounter to be reminded of who he truly was. That moment, unplanned, unannounced, unforgettable, became a legend, forever entwined with the music, the life, and the heart of Elvis Presley.